Good evening, everyone, and we got about 10 minutes of practice yet to go. We are here at Lernerville tonight with the Tri-Track Modified Series presented by the Sim Racing Super Dirt Car Series, who HiMom Lens is presenting. Have the HiMom Lens Sim Racing Super Dirt Series presenting us the Tri-Track Modified Series on race night number 3 and here at Lernerville. Now, something to mind if you're watching us these past weeks here on the pole, are running a little bit different format tonight. Format we're running, if I may, we're running full draw for the heat. It's going to be 2 heats. Anywhere between 6 to 10 laps. Out of the heats, that's going to set our race number 1. And we'll move from race number 1 into race number 2. Race number 2 will be like before, where the finishing order as the first 12 inverted. So if you finish race number 1 in first, you'll start race number 2 in 12. Other thing is, during the heats, kind of like moving on, there will be no cautions. So that's going to be something to watch here at Lernerville as we're getting out the going to be something to watch here at Lernerville as we get started here this evening, as the track does not have an outside wall except for the straightaway. Let's see if we can get an onboard shot here, right along with Michael Kelly here. He goes off the backstretch. I was going to get it right along with him. I'm not there. Let's check out Billy Roberts. Come on, give me there. Okay, so we're on board with Billy Roberts as we go down the backstretch. We'll be up against that outside cushion, as we call it here at Lernerville. Then we come onto the front stretch. That guide rail there, that is our outside wall. Through turns 1 and 2, there is no outside wall, so he's taking it a little bit low. Some drivers will run that cushion up against the back here. Now there is back here on that back wall, or back behind turn 3 and 4, there is another wall down there behind the billboard. Some people forget that there is a wall for 3 and 4, but it is not next to the racetrack. As we come into 3 and 4, you can kind of see there it's to help protect the pit lane more or less than it is to keep the cars on track. I'm out of corner number 4. We're on board with Michael Kelly now. He'll take us through turns 1 and 2. Got about 6 minutes left of qualifying here, of practice, hot laps, however you want to call it. Here we see Randall Dixon coming on track. We should be in for a great night of racing, and I'm going to try to do my best to keep the points I have going. I'm starting to get a little in my throat. Try to make sure that don't happen. Sorry for the brief interruption with somebody walking behind me. I'm not in the best spot here. For a booth set up here, so apologize for that. Heartedly. Taking out some trash behind. Unfortunate setup work. But right now, it looks like we got about 14 drivers signed up and ready to roll here this evening. Randall Dixon, there you'll see him riding that top line, coming down, bringing it down into the bottom edge, maybe middle. Here of her. There's the wall down there in turn 3 and 4. Caught a glimpse of it there. Watching Randall Dixon go around the speedway. Now there is an orange fence down below there, but it's quite a ways down and it don't do much but stopping these cars. Right there you get the wall protecting pit road. Dixon giving us some high-flying action there as he goes off the backstretch. These cars are the 358 modifieds, and Steve Randall, Billy Roberts going around in that number 99 machine. Minutes to go before we hit the start of this race, unless they decide to advance it sooner, but still got some drivers trying to make it in. I think we're going to let practice play out here for tonight, since we're waiting on drivers. Drivers probably got on just before their session race here this evening. Realized there was a big iRacing update. I know it was about 5 gigabytes. My other piece I was running, I didn't quite have it updated. It was about 8 gigabytes on that. One I use for paint shop. If you're curious to check them out, you can on Facebook at Regal Wraps, Farm Regal Wraps on Facebook. Our logo is a butterfly with Regal Wraps, kind of a neon look. Definitely some all at re about it. If you're looking for any type of iRacing wraps, definitely out. Used to be Figure Farm ink shop, but revamped every longer bunch of games. iRacing now. Randall Dick, one of our early customers. Got about a minute and a half left here. I think we're going to have about 15 drivers, so everybody will be going through tonight. Ellie Wheeler with the fastest time right now with a 15.193. Billy Roberts with a 15.256. 15.250 for Dan Bachman. Cody McDonald with a 15.243. And one thing an eye on are those two drivers there, Kelly Wheeler and Cody McDonald. They both have been winning the last 2 weeks. Cody McDonald won race number 1 last week. Kelly Wheeler won race number 2. Might be vice versa. Because the very first week of the season, they both were your feature winners that night. They flip-flopped. So I believe it was Kelly Wheeler won race number 1 the first week. Cody McDonald won race number 2. Which meant last week Cody McDonald won race number 1. Came back up to finish second. Kelly Wheeler came out to win it. Gonna be a definite point battle between them, as could be able to get a points table up. Table, so you can kind of see fun with the points. I know Kelly Wheeler is leading them right now, only by a slim margin. Here we go. Here's the point standings for this series. Hope so everybody can read. Kelly Wheeler in first, 177. Cody McDonald is currently sitting in second with 176. Michael Battelli with 170. Billy Roberts with 156. So the top 4 really aren't that far apart, especially the top 3. There's only 7 points between first and third, so that can easily up if something happens here. Got Randall Dixon sitting in your 5th, and Wesley Waltney there in 7th, Brian Ordo 8th, Clay Christopherson 9th, Kenneth A.G. will be there in 10th in points. So those are your point standings as it stands right now. Take a look at our starting grid for heat number 1, our first qualifier of the evening. We're going to have 8 drivers. Brian Orto will lead them off, with Brian James there in 2nd. Randall Dixon will be rolling off in 3rd. Dean Reynolds in 4th. Travis McDonald in 5th. Kelly Wheeler in 6th. Michael Vitelli in 7th. And Matt Schaefer there rolling off in 8th. As we get ready to rock and roll here this evening, this is Lernerville. We are in for the action track run here this evening. Hope everybody's in for a night of great racing here. Works or not, might have to run Alright, I thought I was on turn 1. So here we are. We're picking up the field out of 3 and 4 as they come out of 4. Green flag is in the air. They are down and away, and looks like our ticker is rolling just fine as we're going 3 wide into corner number 1 with the 79 of Dean Reynolds right there in the middle. Putting the 60 of Brian James up to the top side. Brian James going to fall back now, as the 71 of Brian Ordo is out front. Randall Dixon there in 2nd. Dean Reynolds 3rd. Brian James now working his way back up through the field. We got one spinning around, I think. That is the 83 of Matt Schaefer getting spun around a little bit. Remember, there is no cautions here in Heat 1 in these qualifier races. And we're looking at Dean Reynolds currently in 2nd, but behind 71 of Brian Orto. The Randall Dixon there in the 011 or 111 on your scoreboard. Kelly Wheeler there in 4th. So we don't see both point leaders really much in this heat race. So this is going to set inside row of consolation, if I'm thinking correctly. And the next race will set the outside row. Could have anywhere between 15 to cars, maybe 17, not sure. As we got 3 laps to go here at Lernerville. Alright, so Brian Ordo, final lap. Here he comes into corner number 3 and 4. Dean Reynolds right behind him. Randall Dixon there in 3rd. Kelly Wheeler 4th. Michael Vitelli 5th. Travis McDonald is in 6th. That is going to be how they finish out. So Brian Ordo is your race 1, or I'm sorry, not race, or heat qualifier 1 winner. Now we're moving on to our results here from heat 1. Brian Ordo, Dean Reynolds, Randall Dixon, Kelly Wheeler, Michael Vitelli, Travis McDonald, Brian James, and Matt Schaefer are all for your finishers here in 1. Now we're moving on to number 2, who's going to have 7 cars of that with the likes of Sam Bachman, Joey Wilcox, Juan Martinez, Billy Roberts, Clay Christopherson, Cody McDonald, and Wesley. So again, one driver to keep an eye on here definitely is going to be that 6th spot of Cody McDonald, unless they line up a little different. Looks like Cody McDonald, though, is going to be starting 4th, as Sam Bachman and Clay Christopherson did not take the green, they take the grid. More lap to green, and we got problems with the ticker, just like I figured we might. We have to shut that down and move into our tower for heat number 2. Gotta roll with the punches sometimes. Three wide down the backstretch. One Martinez. They're on the bottom, or I'm sorry, they're in the middle as they are going three wide again with putting Martinez in the middle again. The 028 of Cody McDonald really making some headway as now he's underneath the 16 of Joey Wilcox. Getting into him a little bit in the corner, number 349, or I'm sorry, not the 49, the 99 of Billy Roberts up there on the high side. We've got 5 cars here in the heat race qualifier 2. And we got Wesley Gwaltney now out front in that 81. Cody McDonald there in second. Joey Wilcox in third. Billy Roberts fourth. Juan Martinez has fallen back here to fifth. But everybody's still so tight that it can be anybody's race. Three to go here in heat number 2. 3 wide back here, almost at the back of the pack as everybody else looks to be single filing out. '81 of Gwaltney is gonna be your winner here in heat number 2 as we take a look at our number 2 results. It's gonna be Gwaltney in first, Cody McDonald second, Billy Roberts third, Joey Wilcox fourth, Juan Martinez will roll off and finish in fifth, Dan Bachman in sixth, and Clay Christopherson finishing seventh. Now on to our grid here for race number 1 of the evening. It's going to be Brian Orto, Wesley Gwaltney, Dean Reynolds, Cody McDonald, Randall Dixon, Billy Roberts. Starting in 7th is Kelly Wheeler. Joey Wilcox will be rolling off in 8th, Michael Vitelli in 9th, Juan Martinez in 10th, Travis McDonald there in 11th, Sam Bachman 12th. Brian James will roll off 13th, Clay Robertson in match shape. I have to see if they take the grid here as they're rolling off 14th and 15th. Wesley Gwaltney, he was our Heat 2 winner, and Brian Orto was our Heat 1 winner, so those are going to be your top 2 qualifiers. Side by side we go. Pace truck should be pulling off this time. Green flag is out there, down and away with Gwaltney on the outside, Orto in the middle as Dean Reynolds shoots the bottom. So look out, here comes Cody McDonald on the high side, and he's going to get that run. In the third position he comes. Here comes Billy Roberts almost getting into the back of McDonald as they now go down into corner number 1 side by side. Find maybe in areas back here in the back as Kelly Wheeler's trying to move himself up through the grid. Here comes Brian Ordo. Cody McDonald up along that outside cushion. Billy Roberts going down to the inside. Ends up getting pinned down there with... Oh no, we got the 83 going around. That's going to possibly bring out a caution. We got one over the bank. I think that was Juan Martinez there. That is going to be our first caution. Kind of all stacked up there. We'll see it here as they come out of corner number 4. You'll see Billy Roberts up there on the high side trying to bring it down between Cody McDonald and the 79 of Dean Reynolds, and just ends up clipping Dean Reynolds, ends up in the fence himself. Kelly Wheeler nowhere to go, ends up getting into the back of Roberts. They get it straightened out. Martinez shoots to the bottom trying to miss it all and ends up putting the 83 of Matt Schaefer down along the bottom of the racetrack. He catches the tractor tire down there in turn 1. Ends up spun around, and there goes Martinez getting a little ride off of the embankment there on the back. A little Dukes of Hazzard jumping off the backside of the racetrack. That's going to bring out caution number 1 here on the pole here this evening. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the show so far. Got Wesley Gowaltney still out front. With Brian Ordo there in second. Tony McDonald in third. Now where is Kelly Wheeler at? Kelly Wheeler's currently sitting in 6th. And our other one that was topping points is sitting in the pits. I believe that was... I think that was... Billy Roberts that was sitting 4th. Okay, so Michael Vitelli is another name that we keep an eye on as the race goes on here. Michael Vitelli is currently sitting in 7th in that 213 machine. Wesley Gowaltney there in 1st as the pace truck lights are out. We will be getting ready to roll once again. Go ahead and see if that ticker to work again, as we're now into our first feature of the night. And green flag is out there, down and away, down into corner number 1. There comes Cody McDonald trying to get to the bottom side underneath the 71 of Brian Ordo. Randall Dixon Forrest right behind them. And here's Dean Reynolds there in 5th. Kelly Wheeler in 6th, going to get to the low side, trying to get underneath Dean Reynolds as they come back down into corner number 1. 3 wide out of corner number 2. Have to use that throttle a little bit to make sure you keep them tires ripped up. Down underneath goes a Wheeler underneath Reynolds. Randall Dixon is trying to get under Cody McDonald for that 3rd position. Up front though, it's Brian Ordo really putting the pressure on Gowaltney. Gowaltney had a great start there. Ends up getting out front. He was our race number 2 winner, or I'm sorry, heat number 2 winner. "15 laps to go here in race number 1 of the evening." Heat for race number 1, I should say. With the 71 down on the bottom side of the racetrack, here comes Gowaltney in 2nd now. Now he's getting a run down underneath Porto there through before going to get it to grip out. He comes. He's going to retake that lead coming out of 4 as they go down in the corner number 1. Here comes Porto there. Well, he's going to try to push that issue there on the inside as then they'll come down the backstretch. Side by side here they come into 3 and 4. Front to back, Cody McDonald way up on the high side, up in that upper cushion. Groove, as some may call it, down there through 3, 1 and 2, down the backstretch here at Lernerville. Here comes Kelly Wheeler moving his way up. He's now up to 5th. Sets his sights on Dean Reynolds for the next spot. Back here a little farther, we got Billy Roberts along the top side, right behind Travis McDonald going around Juan Martinez there for the 8th position. Brian James currently sitting in 10th. As up front, it's still a battle between Orto and Gewaltney. Cody McDonald up there on the high side. Reynolds there running that middle lane as we now come back down into corner number 1. 10 laps to go here for race number 1 this evening. Feature race number 1. As we come down into 3 and 4 again, there you see Dixon trying to fight to get his way up to Vitale, but Vitale's trying to get up to Dixon as Dixon's trying to get up to Wheeler. Wheeler's trying to get up to Reynolds. With Cody McDonald currently sitting in 3rd, way up along that high groove, and I'm seeing getting a little worn in now. Through 3 and 4, you can see the slick really starting to lay down on that top side groove. So through the updates, I'm noticing a little bit of difference there as we come into Lernerville. That top group may give way a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see how these new iRacing track updates are going to work here. We got 7 laps to go. Wesley Gewaltney still out front. Brian Orto there in 2nd. Gewaltney still out front. Orto 2nd, McDonald there in 3rd, Reynolds 4th, and Kelly Wheeler there in 5th. All single file now, 5 laps to go. And it looks like everybody's pretty much single filed out for the most part, as we got Wesley Gewaltney now out in front. Brian Orto trying to get that battle happen there for that 2nd position, but we got some drivers here going a lap down. That's the Wilcox. Matt Schaefer and Billy Roberts already a lap down because they had to spend some time in the pits. There's Joey Wilcox. He's about to be lapped here for that first position. Wesley Gewaltney, that number 81. Right behind him is the 71 is Brian Orto. Down here on the bottom side, 3 laps to go here at Lernerville for race number 1. As we come down into corner number 1 and 2 side by side. Little bit, not quite though, as we drag race down the backstretch. Orto still trying to get up to Gewaltney. Cody McDonald sitting comfortably there in 3rd. And Brian Orto kind of used 16 of Joey Wilcox as a pick. We will have to sit and wait and see as they are winding down here, but look to be that way as Wesley Gewaltney's going to win race number 1 here this evening, with Brian Orto there in 2nd, Cody McDonald there in 3rd. Team Reynolds finishing 4th. And rounding out your top 5, that's going to be Kelly Wheeler. So Wheeler and Cody McDonald finished in the top 5 here this evening in race number 1. So still keeping them points extremely tight between those 2 drivers. Here's your finish results. I'm going to come up here of race number 1 this evening. That is going to be Wesley Gewaltney and for Exiled Esports winning your race number 1 this evening. Brian Orto in number 2, Cody McDonald in 3rd, Dean Reynolds in 4th, Kelly Wheeler 5th, Randall Dixon in 6th, Michael Vitale 7th, Brian James 8th, Travis McDonald in 9th, Juan Martinez in 10th, Joey Wilcox in 11th, Matt Schaefer 12th, Billy Roberts 13th, Tim Bachman 14th, Dave Christopherson in 15th. And that is your finishing order of race number 1 here this evening. As the drivers get ready here, we got Wesley Gewaltney here with us in the booth as our race number 1 winner. Wesley Gewaltney, can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir. Gotcha. How are you?
All right. Well, congratulations on your first win here of the season. I know Cody McDonald and Kelly Wheeler have kind of racked them up already this season. Feel pretty comfortable here at Lernerville, thinking you might be able to pull off a 2nd win in the next race?
Yeah, you know, I'd like to see what's going to happen here. It's really hard to pass, you know. That bottom was pretty dominant, and when Ordo really showed me just as low as you could go and just hold her down there, and I got back by him. I kind of knew it was over with. So the second feature is going to be tough because it's going to be really hard to pass. But I'm happy to get one. I think I ran second or third in both races last week, and it was tough, but it was a lot of fun. We're just gonna give it all we got. I'm not able to race every single week here, so I'm just kind of having fun and showing up and trying to race the guys, and hopefully not have too much of an effect on the points or anything.
Well, for points, I think you currently in sitting in 7th in points. This will help you out a little bit for your point standings. But I know iRacing just switched to a new season. Did they change the feel of these cars, the feel of the dirt track?
Nothing really in the feel of these 358s. They still drive about the same, but the tracks are a little bit different. I think they've probably adjusted a little bit with that water model that they introduced last time, and honestly, Lernerville never used to be a bottom dominant track, but they just kind of stayed muddy. So I don't know if that's something to do with that. I haven't raced a whole bunch of there since the last big update, but this one, I don't think that had a whole bunch to do with it. I think the newest stuff we got obviously was the macros and everything, but it was still kind of strange to have just run the bottom at Lernerville, but that's the way it was.
Well, I know McDonald was running the high line like you would normally see run here at Lernerville. And he didn't really have too much grip up there like you normally see. He wasn't really making any headway up there on that top side.
Yeah, I think, they're in practice. People burned it up pretty good because they're so used to that being the lane to run. And so the middle top there's a pretty good patch of slick. I mean, you can hit some grip every now and then, but you have to hit it just right. And these things aren't very wide. So it's very tough to get them there. And then, I mean, it's like almost nobody touched the bottom, even though that's where I ran the whole time. It kept so much moisture in it, and hopefully the top's going to be a little bit better here. Hopefully they let us run the bottom in, and we can slick it up, and we can race a little bit and put on a better show for y'all.
It was still a great show. I mean, you got still going too wide in there. It wasn't until like the last 4 or 5 laps of the race that you guys kind of settled it out and put it single file. Still been great racing. And who is your sponsors that you'd like to thank for getting you your podium finish here tonight?
I got to thank the boys over at XLD Sports. They support me in all this stuff. And then Ancient World Gaming is our big sponsor. And then we got Design the Void, EPI, SimRap Market, All Out Graphics. Pretty much everybody you see on this race car, Next Level Racing. We appreciate everything they do as well. Brian and everybody for putting this thing on, you for broadcasting it. And we'll see what we can do in the second race.
All right, well, we'll let you go and get that car tuned up and that next race.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Ready. That was Wesley Gawaltney, our race 1 winner. As we get set here for race number 2 of the evening, there'll be another 25-lap shootout, I believe. I don't think so. It's another 25-lap shootout till the end. Stick with us as the drivers get ready for their warm-up laps. Stick with them here. All right, we're getting ready to start race number 2. Starting in first, we got Matt Schaefer. In second is Joey Wilcox. Third is going to be starting Juan Martinez. Travis McDonald will be rolling off in fourth. Brian James in fifth. Michael Vitelli in sixth. Randall Dixon there in seventh. Kelly Wheeler in eighth. Dean Reynolds will be rolling off in ninth. Cody McDonald in 10th. Brian Order 11th. And Wesley Gawaltney will be rolling off in 12th. In 13th will be Billy Roberts, and Bachman 14th, and Clay Christopherson will be rolling off in 15th. All right, so race number 2 is 30 laps, so it's 5 laps longer than the initial race number 1. This will be the final race of the evening here at Lernerville as we keep things rolling along here. Keep everybody in the ready as we come around final lap here under pacing speed with the lights out on the pace truck now as they come down the front stretch. Corner number 1. They see in warm-up, they kind of slicked that bottom groove off a little bit. There's still some grip up there on the high side through 1 and 2. But as they come down into 3 and 4, take a look at how much different 3 and 4 looks compared to 1 and 2. Look at that slick high line. As we come through 3 and 4, you can see how much slicker the higher part of the racetrack is. So it's almost like you want to run high in 1 and 2, but low through 3 and 4. As we are now green flag race into the race number 2. Joey Wilcox off to a great start as he is now out front with Matt Schaefer there in second, Travis McDonald there in third. Vitelli, though, he's working his way up through here. He's trying to make sure he closes in on some of these points as well as he's up to 4th position. Side by side for second and third, that's Matt Schaefer and Travis McDonald. And back in 5th, that's Kelly Wheeler now down to the low side. Caution is out. We got Billy Roberts, Randall Dixon, and Brian James all involved. So we'll see them coming out of 4. They're 3 wide. We can see what happens here. We got the 60 of Brian James going through the middle. The 81 of Wesley Gawaltney there, and Billy Roberts on the high side. All right, coming down into corner number 1. Looks like Reynolds. It's okay. We're gonna see. All right, Billy Roberts. We're watching. See where there he comes. There comes Randall Dixon, getting caught by the 60. Goes up, and what a ride for Roberts. Dixon goes for a heck of a ride off of the speedway. See if we can get a onboard ride with Dixon. Here we go. We're coming out of 4. Everything seems fine. He's in the middle. He gets bumped, comes down through, ends up not sure if he goes for a ride off of that turn 1 bank. As you saw Roberts down there as well. Lights out on the pace truck. 3 laps of 30 to go. Or 3 laps of 30 complete here with caution number 1 on the board at lap number 3. That's the thing with Lernerville. If you end up going off the track, you're going off the track. There's no wall to save you. Into corner number 1 again. Here we go as they work their way through. Looks like we're working through all right. Martinez and Miller together there out in the back stretch. Martinez there on the outside behind with Talley. We've got Travis McDonald there on the inside. Here it comes Cody McDonald up on the high side following Wheeler. Those 2 are the top 2 in points, so they're going to be battling out hard as they know what's at stake when it comes to the point standings. And in front of them is Talley up there on that high side as well in that 213. So you've got all 3 of the point outstanding drivers up here in the top lane trying to make something happen as this race progresses. Vitale followed by Wheeler, followed by McDonald, working their way through. Now McDonald goes to the bottom side, tries to get through, tries to get by Vitale, but ends up losing the spot to Wheeler. Wheeler now sets his sights on Vitale. And it's what Kowalski was talking about. It's tough to pass here at Lernerville now. We're not sure exactly all the updates that came to iRacing, but I know there was something to the dirt track. Something to do with the tire model to get the tires to feel even more connected to the track. It's going to be interesting to see how this new update affects the dirt racing in general, as everybody seems single filed out now, as 81 of Waltney down there on the inside gets spun around. That's going to bring out caution number 2. As it happens right underneath our flag stand. Now the other thing that iRacing did in this last update, we got the name of our pace truck driver. Our pace truck driver, his name is Fred. Fred went through a lot of training this past season to get more training on exactly how to pace the field. That's going to be interesting as this new season progresses. Exactly how Fred handles the racetracks now, as went through a bunch of training courses himself. New update, so he knows now how to better back up a field, how better to guide the pack through different areas. One thing that I find strange, though, is just because I've been there in real life, the pace truck here at Lernerville, in real life, isn't on track. They run without a pace truck. The drivers just slow down to a pace. I don't really see a pace truck come out unless it's for really the only one I really see it for is the sprint cars. That way they have a vehicle to line up behind, because unlike iRacing, sprint cars don't have a starter. They have to be push started. Now with 22 laps to go, and they come out of corner number 4. They are down and away. Here comes Wilcox. He gets a great jump with Schaefer right behind him. Look out, Vitale, Wheeler battling hard down there on that inside lane. As Vitale ends up getting into Schaefer. Schaefer ends up off the backside of the racetrack. He's not going to take too kindly to that from Vitale, as Vitale is where Vitale ends up in the pits. So not sure exactly what's going on there with Vitale. Vitale having issues there early in this one, so that's not going to help him in points, as now Cody McDonald is up to second with Wheeler right behind him. These two drivers have been battling it out every race or every week this week. I know they both would love to have a win at every track, so they're going to be battling hard to see who can come up with the win here tonight between those two drivers. McDonald and Wheeler really battling it out hard. Dean Reynolds there in 4th. Brian Porto there in 5th. Waltney, though, working hard up there on that outside lane, really finding that cushion as he works through 3 and 4, trying to get that high side to bite, as it looks like he's going to get the run at Ordo coming off of 2. Down the backstretch, back up again through 3 and 4 along that outside cushion. I think that bottom has kind of went away a little bit. Now the top side's starting to prevail some more, as now Cody McDonald is battling Wilcox for that lead, coming out of 2. Down the backstretch, there goes McDonald to try to give that slider line a try. Wilcox not really wanting to give it up too much, so he's going to slide back into second unwillingly. Has Wheeler now on his back door, but McDonald now up there on the high side. He is now your new leader. Dean Reynolds back here in 4th. He's running that high line as well. And here comes Wesley Gawalny. He's up to 5th. Now remember, Gwaltney started in 12th because of the invert. They inverted the front 12 of the race number 1 winners. So since Gwaltney finished first, he started 12th. Ryan Ordo there in right now. Gwaltney in 5th, and Dean Reynolds there in 4th. Fighting real hard to try to get up there in that 3rd position, but he's got a lot of competition there in front of him between Cody McDonald and Kelly Wheeler, who Wheeler is now working on Wilcox to try to get around Wilcox. Gets the ride, tries to slide it down in there, does not quite get it to stick. Drag race off of 2. And now here comes Reynolds. He's going to try to stick it to the high side to get around Wilcox down the backstretch. That's going to allow Kelly Wheeler to pull away some, as Wilcox is going to have to change his line some, as Wilcox almost slides it up in front of Reynolds, almost taking the nose of Reynolds off, and he has to lets off wisely, slides back in behind Reynolds. He's going to drop back to 4th into the clutches of Gwaltney. So now Gwaltney is going to look to see if he can get it past Wilcox, and he ends up getting into Dean Reynolds coming out of the corner. That's going to bring out caution flag number 3. We saw that one unfold as we were riding with Gwaltney, as we were watching him trying to move his way past Wilcox. Here he comes down through corner 3, coming out of 4, ends up sliding up the racetrack, touches that right rear of Reynolds, and it just plays no mercy on that 81 machine and spins him right around there on the front stretch right in front of the flag stand. We've seen quite a bit of that tonight, right in front of a flag stand. Coming out of 4, I think that's our 2nd caution coming out of 4, right in front of the flag stand. That's our 3rd caution of race number 2. But folks, I don't think the racing's done yet. Fred come out, he's leading them around. Nine laps to go here in race number 2. Green flag is out. We are back. Green underway. Down in the corner number 1, it is going to be McDonald taking us for the lead. As they now shoot down the backstretch. Single file. There comes Kelly Wheeler. He's going to try to work that outside line now. But Dean Reynolds right behind him. And it looks like Gwaltney ended up towards the back. And we got the 83 Matt Schaefer spinning around. He's up here on the outside lane. Got to try to get it rolling. Hopefully the leaders stay clear of him as they are now coming down into corner 1. Matt Schaefer get it rolling into 3, where he slides up. Caution is out. I think you're going to go ahead and call it on Matt Schaefer. Matt Schaefer spins around, ends up a little slow, back onto the track. But McDonald comes down the backstretch. I don't see any other reason for the caution for Matt Schaefer. Kelly Wheeler in second. They are side by side up here in front. There's only 1 point. 1 point that separates them coming into this week. As you see here, Kelly Wheeler is leading the points by 1 point. Cody McDonald's in second. And then we have Michael Vitelli there in third. Where's Vitelli at right now? Vitelli had issues and he ended up towards the back, if I'm not mistaken. Vitelli's out of this one. Unfortunate for him, he'll end up finishing around the 12th position here tonight. He'll be losing some spots in the point standings, but out front, it's Cody McDonald, Kelly Wheeler, and Dean Reynolds up here as your top three at the moment with 6 laps to go here at Lernerville. Green flag back out. Cody McDonald down on the way. Kelly Wheeler following close behind. Reynolds close behind Wheeler. As they come down, there comes Juan Martinez. He's on the bottom side of the racetrack. Going to try something different to try to get around Wilcox. As they come down into corner number 3, Martinez shoots to the bottom. Gets enough bite to at least get scored in the next highest position around Wilcox. But Wilcox getting the run off of the forward to stay ahead of them as they come down the backstretch. Here comes Martinez again, trying to back. And now Reynolds, he's side by side with Wheeler through the corners as he's trying to get past for that second position. But Reynolds may need to be settling for that third position as McDonald up front in first. Kelly Wheeler there in second. Reynolds third. Wilcox fourth. Martinez trying all he can to get around Wilcox. But that outside lane just scaling a little bit here better in race number 2 than what it did in race number 1. As you saw in race number 1, that inside lane was where you wanted to be. Now it seems that the outside lane is where you want to be, and the 81 of Wesley Gwaltney is struggling here in this one as he's falling back now to 10th. Was up to about 5th. As we got the 88 of Travis McDonald up and off of the turn 4 bank. Gets it back on the track. No caution. Checkered flag is out. Cody McDonald will be your race 1 winner, with Kelly Wheeler finishing second, Dean Reynolds in third. Pulls it around to the victory podium. Oh, he'll line it up. He'll line it up there. So congrats for Cody McDonald on getting it done here tonight. He's the one and only driver so far to have a win at the 3 different tracks here in this track series. So as we look at our finishing results, Cody McDonald there in first, Kelly Wheeler second, Dean Reynolds in third, Joey Wilcox fourth, Juan Martinez there in fifth, Brian Ordo in sixth, Brian James seventh, Billy Robertson eighth, Wesley Gwaltney in ninth, Matt Schaefer in 10th, Travis McDonald 11th, Michael Vitelli will finish in 12th, Randall Dixon 13th, Sam Bachman there in 14th. And rounding out your field is Clay Christopherson in 15th. So that's going to wrap up the racing portion of our broadcast tonight. Now it's on to our top 3 finishers. We'll start with Dean Reynolds, our third place. Dean, can you hear me okay here in the booth?
What's going on, my friend?
Not a whole lot. I'll take us on your perspective. Do you have iRacing changed much in the perspective of the dirt racing?
Yeah, the steering feels a little bit different when the track has got bite. The steering is actually really stiff, like your force feedback is actually higher than what it should be and your car pushes. But then it goes weird when the track burns off, then your steering's actually very loose. So you got to just find a happy medium. I'm on a new wheel and pedal, so I don't really know what I'm doing yet. So I guess that's going to help me out a little bit because I don't really know what this wheel wants, and so now I'm just going to adapt with the thing. Now what they did to the track and the weather, that's going to be something we're going to have to find out. But it seemed like it was racy today.
It did seem like it was very racy, very respectful racing as well. You finished third. I don't know if you had much competition there with Vitelli and Martinez coming at you or not. I'm trying to think of who else was right there behind you in their grasp, but it seemed there you pulled away from them there towards the end and off the third place finish.
Yeah, I didn't do that last restart right. Well, no, I did the last restart right. I got a good run on Kelly, and then I tried to do a dive in on 3 and 4, and it just didn't work, and then I lost too much. I do think I was a little bit faster than those two, but catching them is one thing, and then going by them is the other. They didn't make a mistake. They did what they needed to do, and Cody and Kelly earned it.
Well, there's a reason why they're top 2 in points too. Coming into the night, there's only 1 point that separated them coming into this race night.
Yeah, and you got to it's a combination of being fast and being clean. And I've run with both of them, and we very rarely get together. And if we do, it's just a racing deal. It's no one's fault. And you're going to get part of that because we're all not professionals, and we don't run as much as we want to, and so stuff's going to happen. But I got into Brian's ear and had him change up the format a little bit because I was getting tired of starting in the back with his old format because I can't make every week. And and that's what I told him. I said, if you change it around a little bit, I'll come back. He did, so I gave my word.
Well, and what's your thoughts on the new format?
Well, I like it because I can very rarely make all 4 weeks in a row, and that's what I said to Brian. I think there's a lot of us too, and when you miss a week, then you got to start in the back, and it's tough to come through because everyone's so fast and so close, and especially in 358. So I like what he did, with the a random draw for a heat. So you got a short heat to improve yourself a little bit, and then go into the feature. And then I agree with the top 12 invert for the second feature. I think that's okay. It gives some guys a chance to maybe get a good finish in the second one where they could have had some bad luck in the first one. So hopefully it brings back a little more cars.
Oh, we'll be hopefully looking for that as the weeks go on. And again, congrats on your third place finish here tonight. Before you go, who's your sponsors that helped you get that third place tonight?
Well, I got to thank the guys from Full Throttle Motorsports. I've been part of that team now for a year and a half, and it's always a pleasure with those guys. And they were in this league here with Dylan and Anthony, and they collected some championships with Mud Puppy. I do have one, but it was a while ago now. But I got to thank those guys. Adam, I got to thank you for doing the telecast. Got to thank Gunnar Swanchair from Swan Speed Shop, DJ Sim Shop, Dylan Dewart, who did this wrap. I got to thank him. And got to thank Brian for doing the league and giving us a place to play. And we got to thank HiMom Lens for their sponsorship and getting you to come do the telecast, Adam.
I enjoyed dirt racing. Always fun, and you were at my home track this week, so that even made a little bit more reason why I wanted to make sure I was here. Lernerville doesn't disappoint. It's a reason why it's called the action track.
Yeah, I enjoy Lernerville, and I actually like the track not having an outside wall. I think that puts in a new dynamic there. I've stepped on it and gone over that wall. I going for a lead several times, but it's there. I think it produces pretty clean racing as well. So I always enjoy doing Lernerville.
Lernerville, believe it or not, is the track that taught me how to run the high side.
You know what? You're right. I started doing the high side here too, and if you can run the high side aggressively, not be afraid to go over that bank. I mean, you're still going to do it every now and then, but you can actually run the high side just about anywhere else because it's a little bit easier when you do have a wall there.
It is, and that's what I'm about to say. I'm not afraid to go over the bank. I'm afraid of going and bouncing off a wall.
Well, now that they got it fixed and you can't wall ride anymore, and it sucks your car in, so you don't want to do that either.
So we're not going to see the people wall riding at Eldora much anymore?
No, they got that all fixed now because it sucks your car in, and then the way they got the damage model, I mean, you can hit the wall lightly, especially in the late models, and it just breaks your right front. And the modifieds, it does the same thing. So they made it where you don't want to do it. So what you want to do now is get your car really sideways, and so you hit the wall with your right rear, but then you don't hit it hard enough that sucks in the right front. And some guys actually have gotten that down pat where they can actually slide up to the wall a little bit, tap it with the right rear, and get a shot off. But hey, if they could do that, more power to them. That's not like it's wall riding where you're taking advantage of the game. So if that's what you got, can do to get a little boost, then I think they earned it on that way.
Everybody's going to look for every little bit of tidbit of information they can get to get them ahead.
Oh, you have to. You have to. I mean, there's people making a living at this game, and they're on it. And when I hear people say, "Oh, I did 1,000 laps this week for practice," I'm like, I'm lucky I can do 1,000 laps in a month. So, but hey, it's available to them to do as much as they want, and I don't look at them as anybody different. Just race me clean. That's all I ask.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. If you're putting them type of laps in, you're hoping they're a clean racer.
Yes, that's the main thing. I mean, I run some of the higher end leagues too, just to learn. And the one thing that does get my crawl a little bit is when they get in trouble and they have to go to the rear, and they're coming back through, and they'll use you up to come back through, and I lose respect for that. Just pass clean. I mean, some of those guys, I mean, they know who they are. That's all they can do. If they're out front by themselves, they're faster than heck. But when they got to turn around and start passing cars, it's a whole different ballgame. And there's some out there that know how to do it right, and there's some out there that don't. So you just have to pick your poison, who you want to race with, and go from there.
Oh, most definitely. So congrats on that third place win or third place finish, and second place winner, Kelly Wheeler.
All right, man. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you, Dean. Good evening, Kelly. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How do you think the track felt tonight after the update?
I thought it was all right, really. Just it seems more slicker.
Well, I know they changed the tires up a little bit on the dirt side where it's supposed to give more of a feel of the track.
Right.
Oh, it's good. I know Dean said he started off tight and it ended up loose.
Yeah, mine was loose at the end there. It all depends on your throttle control. You got to control that.
Well, you've always had to control that in dirt.
Right? There ain't much difference as far as that goes.
Oh. Take us through tonight. You were chasing down McDonald. I know you both are wanting to hopefully win again this week, but he come out and beat you tonight.
Well, I messed up in the second feature. He started in front in the first one, and I started in front of him in the second one. But when I got up to third, I about took myself out when I about hit Joy. I spun myself almost plumb out, but I got lucky and saved it, and that cost me spots right there.
You think if you had a few more laps, do you think you would have chased McDonald down, or think he was the same speed as you?
Nah, we was about the same pace. It seemed like I could get him in 3 and 4, but he'd pull me in 1 and 2.
I know it's been a great battle between you so far this season. We looked at the point standings coming in tonight. There's only 1 point coming into this race night between you and he.
Right? I don't know what it was now. I'm sure he won.
Well, like I said, coming into tonight, he definitely had the point standing. You were 1 point ahead of him. So it's going to be interesting to see after tonight how them points play out going into week number 4 as we go back to Williams Grove.
Yeah, he'll probably be a few points ahead of me, but that'd be all right. Next week's another week.
Next week's another week, and you both do well at those other 2 tracks as you both came out as winners those other nights, flip-flopping on who takes the win.
Right, it's been fun racing with him.
It's been fun watching it, too. Unfortunate there for our third place points stand Vitali, as Vitali ended up wrecked out there and up finishing out, so that's going to give him some. But I know the top 3 of you guys try to race as clean and as fast and as clean as you can, and it puts on quite a show.
Well, to me, that's the only way to do it. Try to race as hard as you can and be as clean as you can.
Oh, and you got to here, learn about. Otherwise, you're putting somebody over that bank that might not want to be over that bank.
Yeah, or yourself one.
So, who's your sponsors for getting you into that second place podium finish here tonight?
I got to thank DNS Side and Remodeling, Ingersoll Rand Incorporated. I got to thank some of the FTM guys for helping me along. I got to thank you for doing what you do, broadcasting and all, and interviewing. And I got to thank Brian James at Sim Racing Super Dirt Car Series.
Again, congrats on your win, or your not your win, but your second place finish tonight. We'll see if you can take this momentum and move it into next week back at Williams Grove to see another win.
We'll see you there, man.
Alrighty, with this new format, it's gonna prove interesting, right?
Oh yeah, it's going to be different.
Alrighty, well, you enjoy that second place, and we're gonna our winner of the evening.
Okay, man, you have a good one.
That was Kelly Wheeler, our second place, and now we have with us Cody McDonald. Can you hear us okay?
I hear you loud and clear, my friend.
Got yourself another win on the season.
Yes, I did.
Well,
I think that was the championship, right?
You won at the Grove, you won at Lincoln, and now you come here to Lernerville and you
I
won
won at
Lernerville.
Lernerville. Yeah. The track felt great, and Kelly had me sweating though. I could have sworn he was gonna get me there, and then we had those few cautions at the end, and that kind of helped me on the single file. So I kind of stayed steady, but the top kicked in finally, and I just stuck it with the top and kept the momentum, and that was it.
We saw that you finished third in the race number 1 tonight.
Yeah.
You were running that top side, but it didn't seem like you were getting a bite yet, as the bottom was still prevailing enough.
Yep. The bottom was still good in the first, but everyone was going crazy down there and stuff, and I was just trying to stay out of everybody's way because I knew that going in it, me and Kelly were only 1 point apart for the championship points or whatever. So I was like, well, I just need to finish in front of him, so I'm just going to play it safe in the first one and try to stay out of the mess and just stay up top and hope that I can get decent, which I did. And then the second race was when it was game on, and I was full force for the top and see where I can go with it.
The thing with riding the top here at Lernerville is you don't have a wall to save you, so you gotta find that line of riding that cushion and not go over it.
Yep. You got to find a line. You got to be consistent every time. There's guys that can do it, but it's like I said, it's a fine line, and it don't take just one little turn mess up or too much throttle, and you're off the track.
That or misjudge the entrance of the turn. I've done that a few times.
Yep, that too.
Especially turn 1.
Yeah, turn 1's a little tricky. That's why I was trying to run. When you was watching me there, there's a few times I got up to the top, but it got real close. So I was kind of going in a little lower because I didn't want to risk, when I was in the lead, I didn't want to risk going off on 1 and 2 because that part is the trickiest one because there's that little hump after the finish line, and if you hit that hump and you don't have the car set right, it'll throw you right off the side.
Oh, and if you can catch that hump just right, it'll actually throw you into the turn. So, go both ways.
Yeah.
I know which hump you're talking about. It's right there against the wall, too.
Yep, and you probably see me hit it there on the last, 15 laps or so. I kind of smacked the wall a little bit. The whole front of the car come up. I thought I was toast, but I was able to save it, and I just kind of calmed down and just kept going.
Well, congrats on your podium win here tonight. Must feel great getting a win at each track. You're heading back to Williams Grove next week. You already have 1 win there. Do you pull up another?
Yeah, I'm going to try to go for it. I'm going to try to go for a win each time the track comes up. That's my goal. But like I always say, a top 5 finish is like first place to me. So as long as I can stay up there, whatever, I'm happy.
Oh, you'll probably be leading the points coming in the next week because if you finished ahead of Wheeler in 1.
Yeah, I'm leading now on the points.
Congrats with that. And who's your sponsors that have been helping you all season get up into the top podium finishes?
I'm going to thank I got a league. Me and a couple of friends of mine's got a league. I want to thank them, STRR, Rival Racing League. I'm with them, good group of guys. That's what's on the side of my car, and we do 358s and stuff over there too. So, we get a lot of practice in and everything. And then thank you for broadcasting, putting on some entertainment, and thanks Brian and everybody over there at the Super Dirt Car Series of putting on it and giving us a good place to race. And I look forward for next week and see where we can finish at.
Oh, we definitely look forward to the racing next week. As always, it'll be a great night of racing, I'm sure. We head back to Williams Grove for another night of racing. It'll be great to see.
Should be a good time.
It will
Yep,
be.
should be a good one. All right, I'll see you next time.
All right, we'll see you at Williams Grove next week there, Cody,
Williams
and
Grove.
good luck.
All right, thank you.
All right, so that was Cody McDonald, our first place finisher here this evening. We want to thank everybody for coming out and tuning in to Flieger Farm on the Pole as we brought you the Sim Racing Super Dirt Series with Tri-Track Modifieds as we head back to Williams Grove, where we started this season 2 weeks ago, and then we headed off to Lincoln last week, and now we ended up here at Lernerville. We're going to go to Williams. We're going to start it all over again, heading back out to Williams Grove, and we'll head to Lincoln, and then we'll end the season here at Lernerville. Hopefully we can keep the driver counts up, keep action exciting, and keep coming in for the next weeks to put on a show here for the fans of Flieger Farm and on the pole. We enjoy bringing you all this racing action. Everybody take care. We'll catch you Sunday night as we bring to you a new series. We'll bring you another night of our new series of the Friggy Diggy Racing League. That's a mouthful. Friggy Diggy Racing League here on the pole. They kick off at 8 p.m. We'll probably be live about 10 to 8. Make sure you got your drinks and everything set up for that night as we get ready to race and have a great time on Sunday. Then it's on to Monday night, where we are back in with Roughneck Racing with their Gen 6 series presented by James Wagner Welding. Give me a moment. My mind don't think as quickly as I hope it would. But we got James Wagner Welding presenting the Roughneck Racing and the Gen 6 series on Monday night. And we're back here Wednesday night for the HiMom Lens Sim Racing Super Dirt Series. And at some point in the future, we may be picking up a few more Roughneck Racing series. Keep an eye out on our news page on Facebook. Coming up, we're going to do our best to get better at our social media outreach as we progress here underway. So keep an eye out for that stuff. And again, thanks everybody for coming out and enjoying the show. You all have a great night. We'll catch you on Sunday evening on the pole.
We are Lions. We bring hope where it's needed. Support causes that matter. Change lives. Change communities. Change the world. Visit lionsclubs.org to learn more.
The only thing worse than being stuck at home is being stuck at home without coffee. We can't let that happen. Browse our selection and order online. From sweet to tangy, hot or iced, we have something for you. White King Coffee, because every cup makes a difference. Cheers.
A simple moment in time. But there is so much more to this moment than meets the eye. What you don't see are the millions of moments that led to this one. The weeks of bonding between a highly trained dog and the person he will serve. The personal training for the client. The challenges. The persistence. The matching process to find the right dog for the person. You don't see the time it takes to train the dog. The hours of loving care. The determination of the dogs to achieve, the professionals who care, the dedication of volunteers. You don't see the dog selection process, the foster homes, the puppy raising. A million moments to arrive at this. this man, this dog, this moment.
Welcome to Beacon Lodge, a full-service summer camp for children and adults with a variety of special needs. But from September through May, Beacon Lodge is available as a conference center for business, governmental, educational, and nonprofit organizational retreats. A beautiful 580-acre camp nestled in the natural woodlands along the Juniata River in central Pennsylvania near Mount Union.
Beacon Lodge was established in 1948 as a summer camp for blind residents of Pennsylvania.
I hope you enjoyed your quick introduction to our facility and its many opportunities. We see ourselves hosting a unique retreat for your organization. Please call me to explore your needs. We can schedule an on-site visit. Quite honestly, it's the only way to get the real feel of the mountains and the experience we offer as a venue like few others.